Welcome back to Decoristique, your cozy corner for vintage, classic, and rustic home decor inspiration. Today, we're diving into how you can transform your entryway into a warm, inviting space using timeless vintage touches. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe, like this video, and drop a comment below. We love hearing your ideas. Your entryway is the first impression of your home, and with the right decor elements, it can instantly set the tone for comfort and charm. Whether your style leans farmhouse, cottage vintage, or classic rustic, there's something here for you. So let's walk through a full transformation, from furniture and lighting to wall decor and finishing touches. Get ready to take notes, gather inspiration, and fall in love with your home all over again. Every welcoming entryway begins with a beautiful, functional table. Look for reclaimed wood or distressed finishes to instantly create a vintage feel. These imperfections add charm and personality to the space. If you lean toward classic decor, ornate legs or carved details offer an elegant touch. Rustic lovers may prefer sturdy farmhouse-style tables with simple lines and warm tones. Either way, your table sets the foundation. Remember to choose a size that suits your entryway, not too big, not too small. The right proportion ensures the space feels thoughtfully decorated, not cluttered. A vintage mirror is both a practical and aesthetic addition to your entryway. It opens up the space, reflects natural light, and adds an instant historical charm. Look for antique brass, detailed wood frames, or weathered paint finishes. Each option introduces character and tells its own story. Hang the mirror above your entry table for balance, or lean a large, aged mirror against the wall for an effortlessly chic look. Vintage lighting can instantly transform the mood of your entryway. Table lamps with fabric shades, brass sconces, or lantern-style fixtures all create a warm, inviting glow. Choose bulbs that give off soft, warm light rather than harsh white tones. This enhances the cozy ambience. For a more rustic feel, consider Edison-style bulbs or lantern sconces with a weathered metal finish. They bring nostalgia to the forefront. Antique baskets serve both form and function. They can hold scarves, shoes, umbrellas, or seasonal accessories, all while adding texture to your decor. Choose woven wicker baskets, vintage wire baskets, or even metal tubs with a distressed finish. Each adds its own vintage personality. Place them under your entry table or stack them in a corner to create a layered, lived-in look that feels timeless. Your entryway is the perfect place to introduce vintage wall art. Think botanical prints, antique landscapes, or old architectural sketches. For a rustic approach, hang wooden shutters, vintage signs, or farmhouse-style plaques. These add charm and nostalgia. Arrange your wall pieces thoughtfully, keeping balance and proportion in mind. A curated gallery instantly elevates the space. Vintage books bring warmth, charm, and a nostalgic intellectual vibe. Stack them on your entry table for height variation and color depth. Choose books with weathered covers, muted tones, or gold foil lettering. They add elegance and visual interest. Pair your books with small decorative pieces like candles or antique figurines to complete the vignette. Greenery breathes life into any vintage entryway. Consider placing small potted plants, dried flowers, or preserved eucalyptus for natural texture. Rustic lovers might incorporate galvanized buckets or ceramic pitchers as planters. These create a farmhouse appeal. For a classic vintage look, try antique urns or brass planters to elevate your floral arrangement. A vintage-style rug adds warmth, pattern, and comfort as soon as guests step through the door. Persian patterns, faded motifs, or hand-woven textures work beautifully. Select a rug that complements your color palette and enhances the overall theme. Soft neutrals for timeless elegance or bold patterns for a richer story. Make sure your rug is durable enough for high traffic yet soft enough to bring a cozy feel to your entryway. Functional storage doesn't have to be boring. Choose vintage crates, distressed cabinets, or wall-mounted hooks with antique finishes. These pieces add personality while keeping everyday essentials organized. Rustic wood and metal combinations work especially well. Blend practicality with charm by choosing pieces that complement your vintage theme rather than disrupt it. A vintage tray is a perfect accessory for styling your entry table. Look for brass, silver, or weathered wood trays that feel timeless. Use them to corral keys, candles, small plants, or perfume bottles, anything that adds beauty without clutter. Trays also help create structure, making your decor look intentional and cohesive. An antique clock introduces history and elegance. Whether it's a classic mantel clock or a rustic wall clock, it instantly becomes a conversation piece. Choose one with Roman numerals or aged metal to enhance the vintage aesthetic. Place it where it can be easily seen yet harmoniously integrated with your other decor elements. Candles add warmth and romance to any vintage entryway. Choose soft scents that evoke comfort: lavender, vanilla, or cedarwood. Pair your candles with antique brass holders, rustic lanterns, or candelabras to deepen the vintage charm. Cluster a few candles at varying heights to create a glowing focal point that welcomes guests with warmth. Vintage coat hooks add both function and charm. Look for wrought iron, brass, or wooden hooks with antique detailing. A beautifully aged coat rack can serve as a statement piece, making even everyday items feel stylish. Place your hooks where they're convenient but still complement the overall design flow of the entryway. Your entryway becomes more meaningful with personal touches like old family photos, heirlooms, or travel souvenirs. These pieces tell your story and add authenticity to your decor, something mass-produced items can't replicate. Mix personal vintage items with curated decor for a harmonious, heartfelt entryway design. Stick to a consistent color palette to keep your entryway looking cohesive. Neutrals, warm woods, and muted metallics work beautifully. Maintain visual balance by mixing textures, wood, metal, fabric, and greenery, to create depth and dimension. Always step back and evaluate the space as a whole. Fine-tuning small details can make your entryway feel polished and inviting. Thank you so much for joining us today on Decoristique. We hope this vintage entryway transformation inspires you to create a warm and welcoming space of your own. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave a comment. We appreciate your support more than you know. Stay inspired, stay creative, and we'll see you in the next video. Until then, happy decorating.